reason for me being a 6A in Enagic. I seen the presentation about 3.5 years ago in a place named Equinox. I saw his presentation, it blew my mind, and I wanted to be like him. So he's one of the top distributors in the company, also is a great leader, and in my opinion, one of the best trainer in the company. Almost everything I've learned in this business, I owe him to this guy right here. I want to introduce my friend, Colton Echabe. He's going to do an amazing presentation today. Welcome, Colton. Give him a round of applause.
And this guy does really good demonstrations here too. You guys haven't seen him. So thank you guys so much for coming. So my story, I fell into this by accident. So my mom has an autoimmune disease. Does anybody have like a relative who's been sick before with like a disease or a virus or anything like that? So that's how I grew up. My mom, went to many doctors, couldn't really figure out what was going wrong with her. Eventually, this is my mom right here. Mom lives in Florida and what ended up happening was she went to this doctor right here, Dr. Enagic. This doctor actually wrote a book. I think you can get it on Amazon still. So she went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, "Hey, all my patients drink this water. You're gotta get a machine." So what would you do if your doctor told you to buy a machine? You buy the machine, right? So that's what my mom did. So when my first exposure to this, I thought this was one of those medical devices you buy from doctors. I didn't know this was like a Saturday meeting type of business. I thought this is a medical equipment business. So my mom, she's telling me how good this water's doing. Oh, this is my background too. So at the time, my mom told me about this water. So my mom, like her symptoms, she was always tired, always had canker sores, always had a shingles inflammation, and she's telling me it was going away. She's telling me she was feeling better. She had more energy. She was sleeping. And I was like, that's crazy. And at the time, she's like, hey, maybe it can help you. And the reason she thought it would help me is because I used to be on the USA beach volleyball team. Here's an email of practice. I used to practice like 6 days a week. Here's me. I used to jump really high. I can't really jump high anymore. But but I never made the traveling team. Like I wanted to travel. I wanted to go to Brazil. I wanted to go to Europe for free. How cool would that be when you're 20, right? I was in the training team, so I was always practicing. I never made the last cut at the very end. So she's like, hey, maybe this could be something that can give you like the competitive edge. Have you guys heard that for athletes? Yeah. So that's what I thought it was, right? I was already buying supplements. I was already working out 5-6 days a week. I was already doing weights, yoga. I was doing everything possible. I was like, but I'm not drinking the best water. I had like a distilled water. Anybody drink distilled water before? Yes. I actually had a distilling machine where you put a gallon. I don't really tell us that much, but you put a gallon. I think like a gallon of water in, and it takes 4 hours to make 1 gallon of water. And then every 2 weeks you have to clean it, and the cleaning takes 12 hours. You can buy my Amazon, they're $100. That's what I used to drink before that. So I saw this, but there was a problem. I actually broke my ankle. So that's what kind of ended my career. So I ended up buying my machine, right? I bought my machine, and the way I heard about it was the same thing. So you have to go to see a presentation. I was like, there's a presentation involved, and I was like, why? Can you send me like a video? But this was in 2012, so there wasn't any like YouTube videos or anything like that you could see. And then she's like, no, I don't have the time to go see a water presentation on Saturday. I have to go play volleyball. I gotta do anything but see a water presentation. And then she was like, well, who pays your phone bill? I was like, you do. She's like, do you want to keep it that way? I was like, yeah. She's like, you gotta go to it. So I went to her presentation. I was in the back. I was like this. I didn't want to be there. But I saw what the water did, and then it made sense. I was like, okay, cool. And then I heard the price. I mean, that machine cost $5,000. The car that I drove to the presentation only cost $3,000. So I was like, cool, I'll buy this when I'm 45, right? I didn't have the bougie money yet. I was like, this is bougie water, right? I wasn't on that budget yet. But I was like, I'll probably get one eventually. But then I saw the business, and I found out you can get a machine for free. How many people like the word free? Only some people like free. Interesting. All the people who raise your hand, you guys get a free K8 today. Woo! Sorry, if you didn't raise your hand, you guys don't get a free K8. Okay. So, I got my machine because I found out I could refer people, right? Because I found out we all refer people all the time. Has anybody ever had like a really great like steak before? And you told like your family, oh, go to that restaurant. Or had like a really good burrito, like, oh, go to that Mexican food restaurant, right? Like you guys have not? Have those restaurants ever paid you? No. What about a movie? You saw a really good movie, you're like, oh, you gotta go see this movie. They go see it in like a couple weeks. Did that movie theater pay you? No. Never, right? So you guys have been referring people, but never getting paid, ever. So I was like, okay, my mom loves this product. If I get a machine, and if anybody loves it as much as I do, I'll get paid for it. and eventually I can get a free machine. So it made sense to me. So I got my machine, and then I ended up breaking my ankle, and I got a job as a trainer. It says trainer right there at this gym in Irvine. That was pretty close. He was one of my old clients. So, but this is what happens when you're a trainer, right? So I went from college, Olympic volleyball, right? And then I went to the real working force, right? This is a post I made in 2013. You realize you work a lot when you come home from work when it's dark out, and you go back to work before the sun comes up. Hashtag hustling. Does anybody know someone like that? You guys know just one person, right? You don't know everybody, right? Only one person your whole life, right? So that was my life every single day as a trainer. I would get to the gym at like 4:30 and I would leave at 10 p.m. every single day, 7 days a week. And I was $35,000 in school debt. So that was really fun too. So this was my life right here. I didn't have any time. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that was my face. And then this is a paycheck of a top personal trainer that you guys have heard of Equinox?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I was a top trainer at Equinox. This is what a top trainer makes at Equinox after taxes. Yeah, that's gotta get me out of $35,000 of debt real quick, huh? I was kind of stressed out. How expensive is it? You know how much rent? That's not even like, you know how much rent costs to live in Irvine? And then have a car payment, and then have $35,000 of school loans. And then it was really hard, so it was stressful. And then I found out one day, this is my face, my paycheck. I was like, what is going on? They told me, work here, you can make all this money and make people healthy. I'm like, great, I love making money, I love making people healthy, this is cool. But this is what I saw every 2 weeks. I was like, really? So one day, my mom, we always talk, you know. She's like, hey, I just gave away some water to my friends. I was like, cool, Mom, so do I, you know, in my house. And then the next thing she says, I was like, well, what else have you been up to? Then she goes, I just made $5,000 in 1 week. I was like, what? How many people's mom make $5,000 in a week? Nobody's mom does that? Okay, neither did she. So the first thing I said was, actually that's not what I said. I said, legally? Right? Then the second thing I was like, no way, tell me how. And then, so I just gave water away to my friends. I was like, Mom, shut up, you gave water away to your friends. And then, so this was what she told me. She told me a story. So what do people eat? She was 4th of July, right? So what do people usually do on 4th of July?
Barbecue.
They have fun, right?
Yeah.
So they have fun, that's what people do on 4th of July. And they also do what?
Drinking.
They drink.
Yeah.
Drink what?
Alcohol.
Alcohol, right? Okay, so my mom, she had 5 of her friends, all couples, and she used to live on Daytona Beach, Florida. You know, so they all came in her house, they're all drinking wine all day. My mom's like, hey, between every single glass of wine, just have some water. You know, with your margaritas, put some like my Kangen ice cubes with it, right? And then the next day, what usually happens the next day? Right? Have you guys ever seen that movie? It's a funny movie. But this is what happened to all of my mom's friends. All 5 couples, no hangover. And I'm not 50, 60 years old, but I heard when you drink alcohol when you're at that age, the hangovers get worse.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm not that age yet, but that's what I heard, right? When you're 20, right? I don't drink anymore, but I remember when I was 21, I could, drink, and then the next day I'm fine, right? And my uncle's like, just wait till you're 50, just wait till you're 60, right? So they're all 50, 60 years old, and none of them got a hangover. They're like, this is amazing! All 5 couples bought a machine for my mom, and that's how my mom made $5,000 in 1 week.
Wow.
So this is what happens to me. I'm like, if I give this water to people who get hangovers, maybe I can make some money too. Isn't that what you would think too? I already owned a machine, but I wasn't giving away the water to people who were party animals. I was like, I know people who get hangovers, right? I should give them this water. So this is me. The water helps you grow a beard. No, I'm just kidding. But this is what I used to do. I call all of my friends, and I was like, hey, you gotta try this water. They're like, what does it do? I'm like, you tell me what it does. I don't know. So I literally would fill up my car. I would get a pallet from here, Island Faucet, and then I was sometimes giving away like 200 gallons a week for free.
Holy moly.
Well, you guys saw the situation I was in, right? I was doing this on a part-time basis, right? So I wasn't quitting my job. I was part-time on the weekends. I usually did it on Mondays and Fridays. Those are the 2 days that I would kind of deliver water. So here's somebody that I gave water to. I think you gotta hook this up to this sound. Sony TV. Good to go. So can you tell me what happened to you after you started drinking the Kangen water and what you're experiencing?
So when I was 5, I was diagnosed with a rare kidney disorder called Bartter syndrome, and what that does, it doesn't allow your body to retain potassium nor magnesium. I was on prescription medication for the last 20 years, and 3 months into drinking the water, I actually decided to get off all my medication and see what would happen. 7 months into drinking the water, I went back to the doctors, decided to get my kidneys checked, all my levels checked, and everything came back normal for the first time ever. Kidneys look beautiful. They said I no longer needed a kidney transplant. I got off all my medication. It's been 2 years. I haven't had any migraines, no faulties with my body, nothing whatsoever.
And all you changed was the water?
All I changed was my water.
Wow.
That was it.
Thanks so much, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
What do you think she did? She bought a machine, right? Wouldn't you buy a machine if that was you? She bought a machine for me. Here's someone else I gave the water to.
Hi, my name is Michael, and just started drinking the water for about 3 weeks. And the psoriasis that I had been suffering for over 20 years was literally is almost gone now. So just 3 weeks of the water. Didn't even spray the water on my knee. Just drank the water for 3 weeks, and it's literally disappearing.
Can you show us some of the results?
So I have a before and after picture. So that's the before.
Can you go a little bit closer? Oh, wow.
Before and after in just 3 weeks.
3 weeks. And then is your knee better now?
Absolutely, it's even better than that.
Can you show us?
Yeah.
Since we're here. Oh, wow, it's even better than the picture.
Yep.
Wow.
So just 3 weeks of drinking the water, so it's been amazing. Even my wife as well. Her acne that she had been suffering for a long time. She drank the water for 3 weeks, and it's completely gone.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Michael.
No problem.
What do you think he did?
Bought a machine.
He bought a machine too. So here's a picture of his wife. She was a little embarrassed, so she put like this little band thing on her. Not on her real face, it's like a stick, I don't know, like an iPhone thing. But yeah, look, so this is her acne before and after, and all she did was change her water. This is somebody else too.
My name is Woody, and I just wanted to share a little story about myself. I was diagnosed with diabetes several years ago, and I began drinking the Kangen water and ended up back at the doctor's for some routine testing. I've always had an issue with my A1C test, the numbers always being high in a 9, 10, or 11. The last blood test that I had done after drinking the Kangen water for about 6 weeks was a 7.5. A month after that, I ended up at an appointment for my general practitioner, which required another blood test. And that blood test, the results that came back were a 7.3. I have no explanation for why it is, other than the fact that I've been drinking this water for about 6 or 7 weeks now.
And did you lose any weight during that period?
And yes, and I also lost 13 pounds, and 7 pounds in the beginning, and then 6 more pounds about 2 months after that.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
What do you think he did? So that's all I started to do. Does anybody have any testimonials that happened to you, real quick? Anybody in here? What happened to you?
I had facial eczema for like 20 years since I was in college, and the doctor said, you just got to put cortisone cream every day. And I asked him, well, what causes eczema? He said, we don't know. So just 2 weeks after getting my machine, it was completely gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what'd you do? You bought a machine, right?
I did.
There you go. And this is the thing I learned once I started giving away water. There's a lot of people that you currently know that aren't telling you they have a health issue.
Yeah.
Or they're not telling you like, oh, my daughter has a health issue. Or my son has a health issue. Because they're kind of embarrassed. It's not like a topic they want to like discuss. And all these people I knew, I had no idea any of them had health challenges. But I started giving them, they started telling me all this stuff. So, oh yeah, here's eczema before and after. Here's psoriasis before and after. Yeah, and this is how they pay you. So, right, here's me, was it 2014, here you go, $8.55, right? So this is how Enagic started to pay me, right? And I was like, this is so cool, right? Part-time, I'm helping people with their health, and then I get paid in a side business. What's wrong with that, right? So this is what I started to do. Then I started to show my friends the checks and the business, because I found out I started making part-time income. You know, there was 1 month part-time, I made $5,000 part-time. Do you guys know anybody that would love to make $5,000 part-time? Raise your hand if you know somebody. If you know one person. All right, cool. So I knew some people too that would love to make $5,000 part-time. So I got all my friends over at my house. I used to have when I was living on the peninsula. I had a little apartment. I did a little demo, and I showed them the checks I made. I was like, hey, I know you guys have tried some of the water, but I was kind of embarrassed to talk about the business because I was in a lot of school debt at the time. But I was like, hey, it doesn't matter if I'm in debt. I made $5,000 part-time this month. So I showed them a lot of my checks. Well, some of my friends didn't join me, right? There's always skeptical people out there. There's always people who aren't open-minded, they're closed, but nothing's for everybody. But all these people did join me. Because they're all like, hey, I want to make $5,000 part-time. I want to make people healthy too. I want to do this with you. So all these people started joining and working with me, and then we had to start renting out conference rooms.
Wow.
Because my apartment wasn't big enough. So then we started giving a lot of water away, and we started to show a lot of people the business, 50-50. More checks started coming in. That duffel bag I think weighs over 60 pounds now. And the checks got really big. This is one day. This is I think it was my best day. Can you imagine what that could do for someone that you know that needs it? Change our whole life. And we became one of the #1 teams in the company. And the crazy thing is, right? So look, here's me, but look, this is one of my top people. And there's another person that was on my team. Next month, she got #1 and I got #2. It was crazy. I had never even done anything. And then we've helped a lot of people make big income. Average people. Look at this guy. Who's this guy right here?
Looks like me.
Right?
Gio!
My brother.
Now we've done over $20 million in sales, and we still do the same thing. We give away water, and we show people the business. Here's my wife. So we do this full time together now. This was at this one of the events over in Torrance, which was pretty cool. And the only reason that we've succeeded in this business is because people have problems like this. Do you guys know anybody who has a problem like that? You know anybody who has acne? Right? You know anybody who has arthritis? So this is why people buy the machine, because people have health problems and they don't tell you. Dogs too, oh my gosh. Cool, and this is why people do the business. Living paycheck to paycheck's a problem, right? Because you can never save. Does anybody know anybody who can never save? Yes. It's stressful. I was there. Anybody behind on their bills? Stressful. What about in debt? Does anybody know anybody who's in debt? The average American is $8,000 in credit card debt. I bought this because I was in debt, right? And trading time for dollars. Does anybody know anybody who trades time for dollars? You can never get ahead because there's never, there's not 50 hours a day. There's only 24. How many hours can you work, right? So, and then this is something I was interested in. Is our water helping or hurting us? This is something I got on Google. Just Google tap water pipes. So this is what we drink out of, right? And then I was curious, what chemicals are in tap water? So you can get off Google. You guys know chlorine is in tap water? I didn't know that. You guys know what chlorine does? I didn't know either. So I did the dangers of drinking chlorinated water, right? It says here we go. Long-term effects, but this is what I saw here. Cancer risk among people drinking chlorinated water is 93% higher than among those who does not contain chlorine. So if you know anybody who drinks tap water, it says right here, they have a 93% higher chance to get cancer. Another thing that I was thinking about, right, is bottled water good for us? So I just Googled it, right? What does bottled water say? So bottled water may be no safer or healthier than tap water while selling for up to 1,000 times the price, says ABC News. I was buying bottled water, it's so funny. Is bottled water cleaner than tap water? One of the biggest reasons people buy bottled water is because they think it's cleaner than tap water. But 40% of bottled water in the US is actually taken from municipal water sources. I didn't know what municipal meant, but I Googled the definition. It means tap water. Yeah. So that means 40% of the water that we buy is tap water. Isn't that crazy?
Now you're
right?
paying for it.
That was the sound that I was making when I heard this. So I found out that this is a solution. This takes out the chlorine, and this is way better than tap water. And here's a lot of other people who think it's a solution too. You guys know any of these people? A lot of their nutritionists say it's a solution too. Anybody know this guy?
Tom Brady.
Yeah, he wrote a really. Anybody read his book? I found out. Just go on Google. Just Google Tom Brady Kangen water. I found out he has one. Yeah. So I'm going to show you guys why this water is a solution. So has anybody ever heard of an antioxidant before? It's kind of like it's good for you guys. Heard it's good. That stuff's good for you, right? So basically, here we go. So antioxidants are good for you, right? So anything, and there's a little meter. Does anybody know golf, like golf scores? Like when it's negative, it means it's good for you, right? Like if you hit negative something, you're like, good job, like you're a great golfer, right? So it's just like this. The higher the negative, the better it is for you, right? So think of like slow down aging, anti-aging, right? Who wants to get old and wrinkly really fast? Nobody, okay, right? So stay away from anything that's a positive number. The higher if it's positive 1, it's not good for you. If it's positive 400, that's scary, right? So right here is a little meter. You can buy it on Amazon, like $100, and you can put it in any liquid. They're called an ORP meter. So I'll put this in Kangen water. Can you read this? Who's close? Can you read that?
Sure.
What does that say?
Negative 480, 90, 500, negative
Oh yeah,
505.
you can read the first number. So what is it? Negative
500.
Negative 500. And then we'll go to soda. And then it'll take a couple of seconds.
Positive 300.
Positive 300. Then we'll go to Gatorade.
Positive 390.
Positive 390.
Positive 380. Positive 375. Positive 340. Positive 300. Positive 368.
Wow. That's it, guys. Thanks for coming. Pretty cool, huh? But that's one of the reasons Kangen water is a solution, because it's a negative number, right? It's anti-aging. Does anybody know anybody who's bought an anti-aging lotion before?
Yes.
Does anybody know anybody who's bought a berry before? Like a blueberry, a blackberry, even though it's like $5 for like a shot of them. You guys anybody who bought them before? Why do you buy berries? Why do people buy them?
Antioxidant.
Because they have antioxidants, right? Here we go. Oh, I do this because sometimes I don't do the demo. Cool. So this is the next thing I found out. I found out this water, the guy that was telling us, he called it tiny water. I was like, what's tiny water? And he says, like when you heat up a pan, eventually it becomes so small that you have one little H2O molecule and then it becomes steam, right? So we've all made tiny water before. So he kind of was also saying too, hydration is important when you have tiny water. I was like, what does that mean? And what he said was, imagine your body's like a chain link fence. You guys remember those old chain link fence like at the soccer stadiums and baseball stadiums? So he's like drinking regular water. This is just green tea. If you guys are wondering where I get all of my stuff, you can buy it at Ion Faucet. They have this stuff here. So this is green tea. So when you drink regular water, it's like trying to throw a softball through a chain link fence. So you can't really hydrate your body the way you want it to, because it won't get through all the way. Or the Kangen water is kind of like throwing a BB through a chain link fence. How did it do that? Because it's so tiny that it's getting through to the tea bag. So I thought this was a trick tea bag the first time I saw it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out the Kangen water residue. I'll do one more to show you guys what I do before. Oh, I did the Aquafina. Okay, I don't want to mix all these up. We'll do smart water this time.
Not very smart.
Hey, I like that. Not very smart, right? And then we'll do one more, right here. Back to the Kangen water. Oh, I filled this up with Kangen water in the back. Crazy, right? So, that's how this water is able to hydrate you better. So it's slowing down aging, it's increasing your hydration, and then the last thing is this doctor is talking all about cancer and alkalinity. I don't really know what he meant, except he says stay away from acid, because acid promotes sickness. So anything healthy is alkaline. But it's hard because our diet, we always eat acidic things. Do you guys know the 4 things that you can eat that are alkaline? There's only 4. Nuts is one. So we got nuts, fruit, vegetables, what else? There's only one other thing that you can eat that's alkaline.
Herbs.
Yeah, it's kind of like vegetables. Seeds. That's it. So what percentage of your diet consists of those 4 things? 2, 5, 10, right? 20, right? So most of us eat 90 to 70% acidic, right? So what, have you heard that saying, you are what you what?
Eat.
So what does that mean most of us are?
Acidic.
Okay, what does this doctor say? What is he saying? Okay, so if cancerous tissues are acidic, and you guys just said you guys are what?
Acidic.
Watch out. So, if you're not going to be eating a whole bunch of alkaline food, but I found out we're not 75% food, we're 75% what?
Water.
There you go. So these are like the pH drops a pool man would use. Oh, my alarm. It's back. So a pool man test, was anybody here on Thursday? Did you guys hear that pool man story? The guy he's a pool man, he helped with his sciatica. Yeah, that was kind of cool. So this is what a pool man would use, it's just a pH drop. So it tells you if what you're drinking, and thanks to your Donald for, I usually only do like 2 or 3 of these waters. I was like, this would be kind of boring if it was just a Dasani, soda, and Kangen. I was like, thanks for bringing them. So you guys see, okay, so what do you think is going to happen to your body if 90% of the, or 70% of the stuff you eat is acidic, and 100% of the stuff you drink is acidic? What do you think is going to happen to your body? It's got to be what? Right? So to prevent that, I heard prevention is what? Cheaper in the long run, right?
Yes.
So to prevent those things, that's how it prevents it. So, real quick, I'll kind of show you a couple ones, right? Because I didn't really understand why people were healing really fast. But what a lot of the doctors said was that health makes you heal. Like alkalinity makes you heal faster. So for instance, my first sale was my Aunt Debbie. She said her feet started feeling better. Like her foot pain went away. I don't know how that happened, and I didn't tell her it was going to happen, but that's why she bought it. So let's say my Aunt Debbie was probably a little acidic, right? She was probably like a 6, right? Inflammation happens when you're acidic. She drinks some Kangen water. Did the Kangen water make her feet better, or did her body make her feet better? Her body, because her body was what? Alkaline. So now her body can heal itself, right? What about somebody who has lots of headaches or digestion issues or can't sleep or has low energy, right? They're probably what?
Acidic.
Right? Kangen water can't heal your body, but Kangen water will put your body in a state. Now what can your body do? It can heal itself. So that's what Kangen water does. It puts your body in a state to heal itself. And I'll check some of these bad stuff out, right? Check this out, soda. It's so acidic it won't even budge it. It's that bad, right? And then here, we'll do the pure Kangen water right here. Gatorade. The real athletes don't drink Gatorade. Check this one out, Perrier. Don't blink. Tries to fool you. You think you're doing stuff because it says mineral water, but really it's acid. It's a glass full of acid. Same thing, right? But yeah, so this right here, I always think of the people that bought machines for me because they were acidic. They're complaining about their neck aches, their joint pain, they're not sleeping well, their headaches. They drink the water, it puts their body alkaline, and their body does what? It heals itself. So that's the reason Kangen water is a solution, and that's why you really want to stay away from soda. You want to stay away, and Pedialyte is just as bad. Gatorade's really bad too. And it's not that that stuff's bad, it makes your body what? It makes your body acidic, and that's, look, healthy tissues are what?
Alkaline.
So that's why this water works. Here we go. So, for instance, I'm not a doctor, but there's doctors who's, have anybody read this book? If you haven't, if you're not like a good reader, they have this on Audible. Does anybody have Audible? Where you can listen to audiobooks? That's how I got this information in. And I stopped it. There was like, I think it was a couple hours in, he's like, the water you drink is Kangen water. So this guy is, if you have colon cancer and you want to see the #1 doctor in the world, this is the guy. And he has a diet for anybody who has colon cancer or, right, what does it say right here? It says to prevent heart disease, cure cancer, and stop diabetes. He says drink Kangen water in his book. So these are the patients that follow his protocol. 45-year-old female with breast cancer and chronic constipation, 90 days after. You can't follow his protocol unless you're drinking Kangen water. 52-year-old man, prostate cancer, 3 months after drinking it. There's people you know that look like this. Your uncle, your neighbor, your dad. That's why I was like so adamant about my family to drink this. Not all of them listen to me, you know, but hey, I'm glad some of them got a machine. Pesticides, crazy. Oh my gosh. I don't have the pesticide demo today, but you guys can go on YouTube and check it out. But, so, tomatoes, you can get like, sometimes the pesticide companies are getting smart and they use a clear-based pesticide, but some of the ones who are still kind of cheap, they'll use like a yellow pesticide because it's cheaper. It's like the ones you find in Mexico, but it tastes different. I even buy stuff from Mother's Market. You know about Mother's?
Oh, yeah.
Why do people go to Mother's? Because it's what? Organic, right? Or why do you go to the farmer's market?
Organic.
So we wash our fruits and vegetables with, so there's different buttons on the machine. So this is not the drinking water button. It's a different button. This guy's not plugged in yet. But there's like, it's like an orange button. This is a special water that comes out and it can take off pesticides. This color comes off not all the time, but sometimes we buy stuff from Mother's Market and I spend 2, 3, 4 times more on all this stuff, on kale, on spinach. Because you know, this is what I found out, and I'm not saying there's bad farmers and corrupt farmers out there, but I found out this is a law that they haven't passed yet. Let's say you're an organic farmer, right? And let's say you're Mother's Market. I'm not trying to make you look bad. So, and maybe there's a distributor in the middle, right? Let's say the distributor is like, between. So the distributor can buy produce from your farm, your organic farm, you're good. He can spray anything he wants on it. He can spray preservatives, anything he wants, and he can sell it to you. Hey, Mother's, buy it, and you can still label it organic because it was organically grown.
Wow.
And I learned this because we sold a machine to somebody who's works in this situation, and there's a law that hasn't been passed yet, but they can still label it organic. So even if you're buying organic, it was grown organically, but it doesn't mean something wasn't sprayed on it after. So that's what I can't say that's what this is, but that's what I think it is. Cool. So when you buy a machine, these are some cool things you don't have to buy anymore, right? How many people do you know that buy bottled water? You guys know a lot of people who buy bottled water. How many people do you guys know that buy this veggie wash? A couple people know some people? What about 409 or Windex? Does anybody know anybody who buys this stuff? Right? What about Purell? This is what my mom used to buy. She used to keep it in her purse. You guys know some people? So the water has a button for all of these. It has a button for cleaners. It has a button for a Purell-like substance, a veggie wash, and the best water. So, and this is crazy, right? So when you buy a machine, this is how much it will cost you in 15 years. But this is how much it will cost you if you buy bottled water. Does anybody know anybody who has kids?
Yes.
You guys know some families out there? Do you think that number gets smaller or bigger? Bigger. Okay, so thinking about it, and usually people with families are on a what?
Budget.
They're on a budget. So what if you showed somebody, hey, do you want to spend 2 to 3 times that in 5 years? Or one-time purchase, and you get all this stuff added in? And it makes your kids what? Healthier. Again, there's competitors out there. The reason that Kangen's the best is because our plates don't corrode, because this is the last stuff you want to be drinking in your water, right? Cool.
I was drinking water the other day too. I had a pimple right, whatever. Let's get some
You need to drink. You need to get some stuff. I drink Kangen water. Is it Kangen or Kangen?
You guys know how much money that guy makes a year?
Yeah.
How much does he make? I think I heard 80 billion a year.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what's crazy? You guys can't wear the same watch he wears. You can't live in the same zip code he wears. Oh, not where he lives. You can't drive the same car he drives, and you can't hire probably his personal trainer. You just can't afford it. His personal trainer probably makes more than most of us in the room. But what's that?
Who is he?
Oh, Kevin Hart.
That's the comedian.
He's the number one
comedian actor.
He's the number one comedian. Yeah, it's all good. You don't have to know everybody. But he makes 80 million a year. But you can drink the same water he drinks. You can't afford Tom Brady's nutritionist, but you can still drink the same water he drinks. Isn't that crazy? Right? So this is a cool thing. When you get a machine, you improve your health. You slow down aging. There's no chlorine in your tap water, right? What was the chlorine was good or bad for you?
Bad.
What did it say in that Google article?
93% cancer.
Isn't that crazy? So you don't get chlorine in this. No plastic from the bottled water. Beauty water. I used to be ugly before. I didn't even tell you guys. Pesticide removal. 5-year full warranty. 30-year lifespan. We have 30-year-old machines out there, and it's really simple to install. You guys heard of Alan Bach. So that's how much it costs before tax, right? So how many of you guys like to get a free machine? Because that's the reason I bought my machine. I didn't buy it because of all the stuff. I wanted a free machine, right? I was already 30,000 in debt. I'm like, I'm not gonna go 5,000. I don't know. Maybe some people do, and a lot of people buy it for the product. I didn't buy it for the product. I bought it because I wanted a free machine, right? So also too, how many people would love to pay off your car payment? Or about your rent, school loans, mortgage? How many people would love to pay off their mortgage? Man, you can do that with this business, right? So here are some people we've already helped do those things. So there's multiple ways to win. The first one is a tax write-off, right? And it's coming up. April's coming up, right? And I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just going to tell you what happened to my wife. My wife usually got back about $2,000 a year in her taxes every single year. Does anybody know that get a tax return? You guys get a tax return? Mm-hmm. Once you have a home-based business like this, you're eligible for more write-offs to get a bigger tax return. So just in 1 year doing this business on a part-time basis, she went from $2,000 to a $10,000 tax return.
Wow.
Legally.
Wow.
Why do you think people in business get ahead? That paid for her machine in 1 year. And you don't even, legally, you don't have to make a sale to qualify for all these tax write-offs. Because the government thinks it's weird if you profit in a business. Most businesses fail in their first year, right? Yeah. So just getting your business, filing as how many people get paid as a W-2? Right? And I'm not going to give you tax advice, but just go to any accountant. It doesn't matter who it is. Say, hey, I have a home-based business, and I do this, and I have a job too. You will get, I guarantee you will get a higher tax return than you've ever gotten in your whole life. Who wants to travel more? Me. These are some of the cool stuff I've been able to do through this business. Costa Rica, I was in Hawaii for 6 weeks. How many people love to go on vacation for 6 weeks? Right? What was this? This was in Africa. We went on a safari. Me and my wife, we got married in May. You know where she wanted to go? I'm like, where do you want to go? Like the Caribbean, Hawaii, Mexico? She's like, Greece. The Greek islands. So that's where we went. Skydiving. Oh, this is a safari. I took my mom on a cruise. Who wants to become your own boss? Yep. Right? Who wants to drive a better car? Who wants to pick the people you work with? Yeah. I remember when I had a job, and I'm no offense, but there's just some people I could live without. You guys know what I'm talking about? Some people you're just like, really? I gotta hang out with this guy today? You just put up with people? How many would love that you get to pick and choose the people you work with? And if you don't like somebody, you stop calling them. You don't tell them there's a meeting on Saturday. You don't let them know. So that's what you have to do with this business. You get to pick and choose the people you work with. Right? Who wants to give back more? You know, me and my wife were able to go on a 2-week mission trip in Africa. We got to How many, you know some people who sponsor kids in Africa?
Yes.
We got to meet them. It was so cool, you know? So, and the reason I'm no success story before Enagic, but the reason that I believe that this was a good business is because the guy that was teaching me has been a success story. Does anybody know Daniel DeMacaulay? So this guy has made a lot of money in business before. My background is in business. My background is volleyball, personal training, health. That's what I'm good at. So he was telling me, Colton, I was sitting in the back there, and he's like, the reason that you're gonna make money in this and get your money back and get a free machine is because of this. It's because this is called a trend product. You guys know what a trend product is?
Yes.
The definition of a trend product? I went on Google and I found out an iPhone's also a trend product. You guys know, okay, people who drink coffee, what do they have in their home?
Keurig.
How many people had a Keurig 10 years ago?
0.
How many people have it now? Most people who drink coffee, right? Or an espresso, right? So this is a trend product. So people who buy bottled water, how many people know someone who buys bottled water? Okay, right? So the majority of them will own this product in the future. They just don't know it yet. How many of you knew in 2000 you were going to own an iPhone? You guys all had a what?
Flip phone.
How many people do you know that have a flip phone anymore?
0.
The same thing. It's like you don't know you're going to own a Kangen machine. Your relatives don't know it yet, but they're going to get one. And that's what he was telling me. I had no idea because I didn't know about trend products. So he was telling me, we're not here anymore, right? Where are we at? We're at 1% now?
1%.
We're at 1%.
1%.
So once you get to 1.5, which I think is, so right now is the perfect time, because for the next 3 to 5 years, if you can build a team, and you will, when you build a team the next 3 to 5 years, you're going to hit critical mass. And this isn't every business book. Just Google the tipping point. There's like a 10-hour book all on this. This is researched. Once you get a certain percentage of the public to get something, everybody gets it. It's like the people at the story in the book was, you know that there's people who wait in line for the new iPhone to be released?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are these people. You guys are those people. Right? But then everybody gets the iPhone what? A couple weeks or a couple months later. And that's where all your profits got to come from. Because you were the ones that are waiting in line, so now you can sell your iPhone for $50,000 and someone will buy it. You guys know people do that, right?
Yeah.
They'll wait in line and sell it? Okay, cool. So again, no sign-up fee, no employees, no monthly qualifications, no annual renewal, pays every single day. Great business. 54% marketing. That's why you guys are making so much money in the room, is because you're getting paid the dollars that ABC should be getting paid. You're getting paid the money that Facebook ads should be getting paid. So it's a patented comp plan. It's not MLM, because I thought this was one of those pyramid things. Have you guys ever heard that before?
Yes.
One of those like pyramid, door-to-door, illegal, last business you want to get into before you commit suicide kind of things. That's what I thought this was, but I found this is direct sales. Do you guys know what real estate brokers?
Yeah.
They're successful, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because they do direct sales.
Yeah.
This is a broker. This is their agents. You know what we're called in Enagic? We're called agents. So you can be a broker, just like a real estate broker, and you can have a whole bunch of agents, as many as you want. This is a real business. So right here, right when you get your machine, you purchase your K8, there's no entry fee to do the business. I had this one lady, she goes, how much do I have to pay after I buy my machine? I was like, oh, you don't have to pay anything. She thought she had to spend an additional $200 to do the business. I was like, no, it's actually free. It comes with your machine. So on your first sale, you make $340. You guys want to know how I made my first sale? So, no one wants to know? Okay,
Yeah,
I'll see
I
that.
do.
Oh, you guys want to know? Okay, so I got my machine. I actually picked it up from the Torrance office in LA. I picked up my machine, and the first thing I picked it up, it's not that heavy, and I actually brought it to my Aunt Debbie's house. So I went all the way to my Aunt Debbie's house, who's in Huntington Beach. I was living in Long Beach at the time. I installed it on her sink, right? I didn't know how to do an install, but I figured it out. And it was only like a few minutes. I filled her up some gallons of water, and I was like, hey, watch this video on, she had like, I think her iPad or phone now. So she watched the demo video, right? Because I didn't know how to do a demo. I was like, watch the information, filled her up some water. I was like, cool, it was good to see you, Aunt Debbie. Let me know what the water does. 3 days go by, I gave her 3 gallons, she drank a gallon a day. She's like, hey, she calls me, and she's like, I don't know what's happening, but I think the water is making my pain in my feet go away. I was like, cool. I didn't know I did that. She's like, yeah, me either. Can I come by and get some more water at your house? I was like, yeah. She came by and got some more water, and then she bought a machine a couple days later. That was my first sale. So my Aunt Debbie's feet got better, and I got my first sale. I brought my machine to someone's house. You guys want to know how I got my second sale?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so my second sale, in 2013, I had an older gentleman, I think he was like 75. I used to live in this Sunset Beach. You guys know Sunset Beach?
Yes.
So Marcelino, his name was Marcelino Saucedo. Marcelino would always, we had a post office in our little community. So I would always see him walk by, and one day, I was like, Marcelino, you gotta come and check out my water machine. Here, so come on. So like, come on. So he's over here, I'm like, come over here, real quick. So I was like, hey, I wanna fill you up some water. While this is filling up, I want you to look at this demo video. So it fills up, cool, well, good to see you. Right? Also, too, what are you doing on Saturday, Marcelino?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah, because you're retired, right? Perfect. Well, I'm going to pick up on Saturday, and I want to show you about this cool event I want to bring you, right? So there was a big event. We used to do this thing in Hokkaido. Remember that?
Yeah.
So that was I went to Hokkaido, but I was late. I hit traffic. It was in Irvine. There was like 300 people. So we were the last seat. We were in the way back. This guy's an older gentleman. So after the presentation's over, I was like, so what do you think, right? And he's like, well, I couldn't really see anything. I was like, really? I'm like, I thought so. And I was like, well, did you hear? And he's like, and like my hearing aids kind of busted. I couldn't hear anything either. And I'm a volleyball guy, so I'm like, I just wasted a Saturday. I could have been playing volleyball all day. I was like, but then what he said? He goes like this. He goes, but you know what? He goes, you're just so passionate about this water, and there's so many people in this room. It must be good. So I'm gonna buy one.
Wow.
And I heard something about diabetes. My sister has diabetes, so I want to buy one for her too.
Wow.
She lives in Catalina. Could you come with me and help me install the machine in Catalina? I was like, yeah. He's like, I'll pay for the ferry ticket, don't worry, because I know you don't have a lot of money. Cool. So that was my second and my third sale. So Aunt Debbie, Huntington Beach, Marcelino, Sunset Beach, which is really close to here. And then since he bought the second one from himself, he got $340 back, and I got 2 checks for $340. So that's how it works. And I kept doing the same thing over and over again. I kept giving people water. I tried to get them to come to my house, show them the machine. If they wouldn't want to come to my house, I would go to their house. I would show them the video on the demo, because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And then I would show them the business too. Show them, they have videos on this on YouTube on the business. So then two-way, look at this. I remember my first two-way sale, I still remember that. I got so excited, because you make a little bit less depending on what machine you sell, but I made $570 because my client, my personal trainer, Elizabeth Kennedy, I still remember the check. I still remember holding this. I was like, this is real. This is a real check for $570 in one day, part-time. This is more than I make in a whole entire day. This is great. I need to keep doing this. Let's go. But I made, and you know why Elizabeth bought it? Because she had something called sciatica. Do you guys know anybody who's had that before?
Yes.
She's like, it didn't go away, but it feels so much better. I just want to get a machine. I was like, cool. So I was making people healthy, and I was getting paid for it. How many people would love to do that? Right? So then I kept doing the same thing, and I had very similar stories every time. A little different, but almost like the same thing. People tried the water, people saw the videos, some of the people would come to these events. After 10 group sales, I became a 3A. Do you guys want to hear the story of my first 3A sale?
Yes.
This is the best story. This blew, because I was making, a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there. That was fun. But then my first 3A sale, I had a guy that called me, and he's like, hey, are you the water boy? Sure. For you, I am. Let's go. I'm the water boy, water man, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? And so he's like, hey, I don't want to sell your water machines. I'm like, oh, you don't have to sell your water machines. He's like, but I want to buy one. I want to put it in my gym. I have a Pilates studio. I was like, oh, how'd you hear about it? One of my customers told him about the water. So I called him, and I was like, hey, do you want to do the W9? He's like, no, don't worry, I don't want to do it. I'm like, are you sure? And he goes, no. I'm like, okay. So then he was my first 3A sale, and you know what happened? A month went by. I got 5 3A checks in my mailbox. And they all said, Brian Roberts sold the machine to this person, Brian Roberts sold the machine to that person. And I called this, and a month later I was like, Brian, I thought you said you didn't. I'm like, what happened? He goes, I know, I told you I didn't want to sell any, huh? I was like, yeah. He's like, I didn't. He's like, but I was in a motorcycle accident. I lost half the feeling on one side of my body for years. He goes, my feeling's coming back. It's not all the way back, but he's like, it's enough to where I want to have my mom get the water. My daughter bought one. She's in this company called Arbonne. Some of her distributors bought one from her. And so how much do you make? And that's where I made $5,000 part-time in 1 month. How cool would that be if you guys did that? Right? Can you imagine if you got 5 of those checks in your mailbox? That's why I got so excited about this business. And that's why I started sharing people what happened to me on a part-time basis. Is anybody in this room a 3A? You're a 3A, stand up. Congrats, we give them a round of applause. So how if someone were gonna come to you and say, hey, how do I get to 3A? What would you tell them?
Just share information, share the water, pretty much social media. I talk to people, I like to connect with people, make friends, and bring to demo. That's pretty much what I do.
So good, thanks so much. So that's 3. And then once you sell over 20 sales in your team, so if Brian sold 5, that still counts for your total number because it's on your team. Then you become a 4A, making 1,360. And the same, I could keep telling you guys story after story because I remember all of them so vividly. I'm not excited right now. Can you give me like a little paper towel, somebody? Thanks. I'll stand over here. So 4A, 1,360, and the same thing happens. Does anybody here a 4A at all? Oh, you're a 4A? You guys stand up real quick?
Hi.
So if someone were to ask you like, hey, how do I get to 4A? What would you tell them?
Just start sharing. Well, come to the meeting. You got to share the water first. Come to the meeting. See Colton or Mary Jane or Danny DeMacali. And the reason why I started is because after 10 years of not being able to smell or taste my food, I was really, really, really bad until I met him. After 2 weeks of drinking it, I walked into my job and I smelled coffee. People looked at me and thought I was kind of weird because I kept on like saying, oh my gosh, I had chills. I started crying. People looked at me like, you're weird. I said, I hope to God this never happens to you. But if you do, call me up because I can show you what I can do for you. Just come drink the water. Share the water.
You want to say anything?
Yeah, well, like for me, it helped me in my health too because I had a quadruple bypass last year, and I've been drinking the water for before because I was diagnosed with asthma like 3 years before, and then I got had to get a heart operation, and I thought I was going to be out for 6 months, 8 months, but I was already playing tennis after 5 months. I know it was the water. So that's why everybody listens to my story and they go, okay, I believe you. Because I can show them my scar, So.
That's cool. So get heart surgery and you'll become a 4A. So after 50 group sales, now you become a 5A. So the company keeps promoting you depending if you're making sales or your team's making sales, right? Are there any 5As in the room? Oh, you're a 5A. Can you stand up?
I bought the machine for my head. I got ready of my neuropathy, my headache, and my blood pressure. I am very excited about the water. I'm a product of product. I use the water in asthma and Yukon, 3 of them. I'm very healthy for my age. And I share with the people my story. I share the water, and I invite them to the meeting. And people buy the machine because they want to have the machine in their house. And I recommend to everybody. It's the best investment you can do for your health and your family.
So cool.
Woo!
And someone else. Oh, you're 5A?
Yep.
So how if someone's like, hey, how can I get to 5A? What would you tell them?
So I'm really big on social media because when I got my machine, I thought, how am I going to teach people about this? It's not, they've never been on TV, they've never been sold in stores. So I got on Instagram. I'm live right now, that's why I'm doing it. So people follow my account and they learn about it and then they buy.
So cool. Wow. So then after you get, what is this? So 5A, so then after 100 group sales, you become a 6A. So now you're making over $2,000 per sale out of 6A. I remember when I saw the 6A commission, I was like freaking out. I remember I was like sitting down, I was sitting down, I was just like, do you see that? I was like, $2,000? I was like, you guys know how long I had to work to make $2,000? Oh my gosh, almost a whole entire month. You know how much driving I had to do? You know how much micromanaging I had to put up with? You know what I mean? You know how many like hours of sleep I lost? You know how unhealthy I got to make $2,000? Does anybody know anybody like that too? Mm-hmm. Right? And I was like, man, and there's no going backwards in this. I'm like, if I just do this business, this can change my whole entire life. And it did. So once you get to 6A, I mean, it's crazy how this can really change your life. Even if you sell one a month or one every year, you know? Imagine it's Christmas time and you're like, I don't have any money for my, you know, my kids, my family. One sale comes by, one random guy calls you and he gets a machine. Is that gonna make your Christmas better for your family? Right? I mean, I know a lot of people aren't like really excited about the presents they buy for their family. They're like, oh man, I wish I could have bought that for them. Imagine this though, right? This comes in, you can do a lot of stuff for your family. How many people here are 6As? Can you guys stand up real quick? So you want to go, so if someone were to ask you, Mickey, how do I get to 6A, what would you tell them?
I give them water and bring them to a presentation.
Awesome. What about you, Tony? What would you tell people?
I give them water and try to get them to a presentation.
What about you, Michael?
I share water a lot. I connect with people wherever I go. I bring my water bottle with me, social media too, and invite to events also.
All right.
Well, I used to share a lot of water, but then I stopped sharing the water, but I always carry my water bottle. The people stop me, ask me questions, and then I share the informations. And yesterday I got 3 checks, my 6A checks, and then people, country that, I never been to like for the last 10 years.
Oh, so you got 3 of these yesterday?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And what would you tell people to go, how they get to 6A?
So guys, just so you know, before this business, I was a busboy at a restaurant, a server, and a soccer coach, so I had 3 jobs. And because of this business, I was able to quit all my jobs, pay off all my debts, got a brand new Mercedes, my dream car. I traveled to Italy 5 times in the last 12 months, and I got a guy in Italy in my 5A lane. He's a 52 sales right now. Wow. So I got 52 of those checks in the other side of the world. So it's the best business ever. I don't have to go to work anymore, and I feel great.
So there's one day I was on Google. Does anybody ever use Google at all? Yes. There was one day I was on Google and I was wondering, like, what do little kids want to be when they grow up? Do you guys know the 3 things little kids want to be when they grow up?
Astronaut, firefighter.
So the first one is, those aren't actually it. So the first one's actually they want to be a doctor. That's one of the #1 answers. And why do kids want to be a doctor?
They can help
people.
Because they want to help people, right? What do we do in this business? You know what the second answer is? Anybody, any guesses?
Athlete.
Fireman.
They want to be a professional athlete. Why do people want to be a professional athlete?
Money.
Little kids don't care about money.
Good play.
I think it's the competition. They get to do things that no one else can do, right? They get to compete. They have a coach. They have a team. And they get to hang out and kind of do whatever they want all day, right? They get to play around and mess around. What do we do in this business? It's kind of similar, right? You get to compete. You have a coach. You have a team, right? You know what the last thing is what little kids want to be? A superhero. Why do little kids want to be a superhero? They want to help people. They want to be what? They want to be special. What do you think happens when you're a 6A in this business? Do you think you're special? Do you think you guys can do some things that other people can't do?
Yeah.
And that's why I think so many people want to do this business. Because literally all the things you want to do as a kid, this business has. So this is kind of how the business works.
So this is how the comp plan really works. So as you can see, like right here, here's me getting started. And I'm just going to kind of show you guys how the business works. So basically, Greg got a machine for me and he made a couple sales. He got 4 sales, right? Eliason just wanted to be a customer. Antonio, just a customer. You can see because there's 0 in the number. But as you can see, every once in a while, you'll find people who are excited and they're just raving fans. As you can see, Alex, actually met Alex off Instagram. He messaged me. And here, I'll kind of show you what happened with Alex. So Alex actually posted it on his Instagram once he got his machine, and he had a guy named Jonathan who was really excited about learning more. He got his machine too. Jonathan sold to a couple people, I think in the beginning, named Douglas. So he sold 1 machine to Douglas, and then he sold 1 machine to a guy named Jason. So as you can see, Jason has a lot of sales. Jason has over 32 sales, and as you can see, most people are customers because people love our products. So that's how this business works. As you can see, lots of sales, a couple of referrals here and there. And since I sponsored Alex, and Alex sponsored Jonathan, and Jonathan sponsored Jason, and they're within my 8 points, I got credit for over 32 sales that Jason made. So let me just keep going real quick, just kind of show you guys. So Nathan, Julian, Eliezer, and I'll keep going, right? Alex sold 3, but then what happens is every once in a while, you gotta find somebody who just gets really excited how they see that this solves their pain. This business is exactly, it makes sense to them. So Dylan sold to someone named Jilly and Ryan. So Jilly has sold over 229 machines. Ryan over 221. And this is where the business gets really fun. Like for instance, this girl right here, she sold over 596 machines, right? What I'll do real quick, I'll just kind of open this up just so you guys can kind of see just like what someone's looks like. So I'll go like this, make it really small. And this is what happens when you find people who see what you see. So as you can see, all these sales, I don't probably know 99.9% of these people, but I love all these people because I've been able to get a paycheck every single time there is a machine sale with inside Jilly's business, Dylan's business, Ryan's business, or kind of whoever it is. As you can see how crazy this is. If you could just imagine the possibilities of what that can do for you and your family's life.
So that's how it works. That's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, I didn't do anything special. Like they built their own teams. You know what I mean? Like when you find somebody that's like a self-starter, it doesn't matter what you do. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna do it with or without you. I was just the one who showed them before one of you guys showed them, right? So once you get 6A, you get a 3,000 bonus. 6A2, 6. They just keep giving you bonuses to help people. And I thought this business is really good to join. Because when you do well, someone gets paid. And you want people to get paid when you do well. That means they really want to help you a lot. So people are going to be calling you, people are going to be motivating you, inspiring you, even when you get stuck. They were going to be helping you. So now how cool is this? Imagine doing this business and getting an additional $5,000 a month. How cool would that be? I mean, how many jobs do you know that you can work for 5 to 10 years and leave and they will still pay you $5,000 a month? You guys know any businesses like that?
No.
So this is pretty, I had a friend who's done almost $20 million in sales in his business for 15 years. He left his business. You know how much he gets paid?
0.
He gets paid 0. Why? Because that's how it works, right? He left. He sold it off. It's done. Now what is he? He's doing? He's building this. He's in his 40s and he's like, man, if I did this with you back in the day, I told him 5 years ago when he was driving a Bentley, he didn't listen to me. Now he's not doing really well, but last week he made more money in a week than most people make in a couple months. Because he sees the vision of where he's going to. Most people, they're got to be in the same spot they're got to be in now than they are got to be in 5 years from now. Right?
Right.
So if you don't do anything about it, you got to stay in the same spot. So something where you can do something about it, And in 2025, which has got to come with or with, no matter what, you can be in a situation that you're excited to be in instead of you regret to be in. Cool. So what if you guys can get customers from people reaching out to you on Instagram? Would you guys like that to happen?
Yeah.
Cool. I want to show you guys. I made a sale on Instagram a couple days ago, and I'll show you guys exactly how I did it. Who's this guy right here? So I'll show you guys my secret step-by-step formula on how I made a sale off of my Instagram account. So I go on something called what? Google. I Googled celebrities on Kangen water. I found this picture, and this is my little tip. You don't say the name Kangen water. Because if they do, they'll Google it or they'll go to some other distributor. Right? So I always say Magic Water. After he won the Super Bowl a couple weeks ago, I said, found out Tom Brady and me drink the same Magic Water. Just saying. I had a girl who reached out to me, hey, what's this water? Can you tell me some more information? A girl I haven't talked to in years. I showed her some videos. She never even tried the water, and she bought a machine for me. I get other people to reach out the same exact way all the time. If you just kind of post some photos every once in a while, there you go. So this is cool. So how many people want to make part-time income with the business? Raise your hand. Cool, so this is for you if you want to make income with the business. So there's something called a trifecta. Because there's two ways to get started. You can make money fast or you can make money slow, right? So this is the trifecta. You get 3 products, and these are the products, right? There's the shower unit. Does anybody own the shower unit? Does anybody want to say what the shower unit has done for them? Who's somebody?
My daughter.
Oh, what happened to your daughter?
When she came over here from the Philippines, first came over, she had psoriasis really, really bad. I couldn't figure it out, did the diet, the doctors, everything medically possible, didn't change. I said, oh, wait a minute, because she was showering in her own shower. I said, you only shower in my shower, my mama's shower. She's 8 now. She was only 5 then. I said, you don't shower in our shower from now on for the next 2 weeks. It went away. And I have pictures, and her name is Rain, and you see her around here sometimes. So that's what happened with the, and of course I bought her own, her own. And that's,
Any other stories about the shower unit anybody wants to share?
I bought a shower 5 years ago. You wake up in the morning, you go on the shower, you drink 2 glasses of water, you don't need a coffee, you are ready to go. The water gives you the energy, gives you the soft skin, and there's no chlorine in the water, and it gives you a lot of energy.
Yeah, there's no chlorine.
And it was so bad, I had people in my house, I say, I don't leave, go in the shower, my shower, and take a shower. And she came out and said, no, this is not real. Yeah, it's amazing. The mineral water which the shower does, and the fact eliminate the chlorine, it's awesome. It's a life savings. It's really amazing.
Thanks so much. Yeah. What about anybody who tried the turmeric supplement or who owns it, or not owns it, just takes it? Any good testimonials that you want to share?
Yeah.
Want to hear on them?
Yeah, me, I'm a professional athlete, so I used to play on the sand, and I had really bad tendinitis on my knees. So this inflammation, it wouldn't go away, and I started taking the Ukon, and it went away like immediately, like that. I had it for 2 years. I had pain every time I was like, you remember me, remember?
Yes.
The tendinitis. So I started taking the Ukon every day, and it went away, all the inflammation. It's the best anti-inflammatory I've ever tried. Natural.
So
incredible, yeah.
Yeah, so our company, Enagic, these are the 3 products they make. They make high technology medical, water machines. They make shower units, and they actually have a turmeric farm. So they actually have their own turmeric farm, and that's what they use to make these capsules. And they have, so this is a trifecta. This is for serious people who want to do the business. So basically you buy all 3 at once, right? So by selling yourself the Ukon and the Enagic, right, because you buy it from yourself, you take out the first 2 1A positions, right? Because you need 2 1A positions. So your first sale to anyone will go into your 2A lane. So imagine if I told you guys about Marcelino, right? I didn't hear about this strategy yet, 6 years ago. If Marcelino bought one and sold one to his sister, how much more would I have made? Double, right? So that's why people do this, because they'll make double. And since you buy these machines from yourself, you actually earn $225 just getting started because you get 2 checks back, which is around $225. If you have good credit, there's credit cards like no interest credit cards. Anybody know of no interest credit card? So if someone likes no interest credit cards, if they have good credit, you can actually get the machines, about 9,000 total, and then put it all on the no interest credit card for 15 months. The $225 can actually make your payments for the first few months, right? And then let's say this. So let's say when you get a trifecta, and on your first sale, someone buys a trifecta, because what's that one saying, monkey see? Right? So people don't do what you say, they usually do what you do. So if you want to sell trifectas, you usually have to have one. So the first sale you do, if you sell a trifecta on your first sale, that's how much money you make on your first sale. That's a big difference in 340, huh?
Right.
Yeah. Again, this is for people who want to make, part-time income. So this is the way you want to do it, and now check this out. So now what is that thing I said? Monkey see, monkey what? Right? So now, since everybody sees trifectas taking place, that means you only need now, I'm not saying everybody will, but more people will. So let's just, to have you guys imagine this, now let's just say you only need 34 people to go 6A instead of 101.
Wow.
Because it's all about 101 sales. Right? So if people are buying 3 products, you need less people to go 6A. So that's why a lot of people love the trifecta package. So you can do the make money slow package, right? Where you only get a K8, which is about $5,400. And if you want to finance it with a no interest credit card, right? $54 a month for about 15 months, no interest, or just pay it in full. The make money fast, it's called a trifecta. It's about $9,000 with the tax, and if you want to finance it, if you have good credit. If you go with option B, remember, you also get paid $225 back before you even make any payments. So again, I call this the business in a box. You get your life-altering medical device. You're in business in life for free. There's no fees with this business. My friend owns a gym, and he has his business with me. Last week, the place where he was leasing from said, hey, there is a fee you haven't been paying for 10 years.
Oh, no.
And he goes, what are you talking about? I've been paying every bill you guys ever sent me. They go, yeah, we forgot to bill you.
Oh, my God.
So you owe us $14,000.
Wow.
The joys of owning a traditional business, right?
Wow.
You don't get that stuff here, right? Has anybody ever owned a traditional business? That's kind of common what I said, right? That's not super uncommon, right? Oh, licensing fees. Oh, county permits, right? Like all these random $1,000 here. So there's no fees with this business. You buy one machine, you can always do the business for life. You guys can get leads off Instagram, right? Jason is a good example. Talk to him if you guys want. So group accountability, right? You have this group right here. Webinars, like Daniel has his webinar that will train you guys in your team. So these are the different packages depending on how serious you are and how much money you want to make. So just talk to the person who invited you today. I always say, tell them one of 3 things. Number 1, I'm not interested, but I know somebody that is. Right? Because this is not for everybody. But hey, everybody raise their hand when you said you know somebody that drinks water. Everybody raise your hand when you said you know someone else that can make $5,000 a month. So if it's not for you, just be a friend. Friends help other people's businesses grow, right? So say, hey, I know a person for you. Here's a referral. I'm a number 1. Or I'm a number 2. I want more info. Is there more videos? Can you sit down, show me some stuff on a piece of paper? Like, I need more information. Or number 3, I want to get started today. Let's figure out the payment plans. Let's figure out, here's my card. I want to get this. So just have one of those conversations. If the person you bring is too nervous to ask you or tell you the number, just say, ask them, what number are you? Are you 1? Are you a 2? Are you a 3? Come back here on Thursday. Who's doing the demo next Thursday? Daniel. So that's a great person to bring people to. So come back here, guys, next Thursday, and thank you guys for having me. And if you guys want to have a distributor training, so Mickey Wade's one of the top 6As in the Enagic business. He's here to do, how long is a distributor training?
Probably 30 minutes or less.
So